This is the Finesse Media Podcast.
You are trifling and small-minded. When you are trifling and small-minded, you're going to end up with a man who's going to take advantage of that. I am sure that your choice in men, if it's based upon the silly things that you have told me here today, will put you in a place where you don't want to be, where you don't want your daughters to be. But you are so small-minded and trifling that you don't even put their interests ahead of yours. How dare you be so self-centered?
Welcome back to another episode of the Finesse Media Podcast, Season 4. I'm your host, Ken Finesse Media, and I'm back, and she's back. Welcome back to the podcast. Listen, y'all, I cannot wait to talk with this woman. How you been, Miss Lady? She's a comedian, actress, podcast host, mother, a twin, and someone who's been finessing the game for many years. Oh, and she's also a wife too. So we showed the clip of you being on divorce court many years ago, right before we started this episode. So Buff, Rashida, twin, what's up, man? Welcome back.
What's going on, Ken? Thank you for having me back. I missed you.
Definitely, man. You see, I just kept that thing rolling. I want this to be super organic when it came in for this episode. So again, welcome back. As mentioned, you were on this divorce court years ago, so played that at the top of this episode. So are people still recognizing you or just saying something about it? It's almost like the Will Smith and Chris Rock thing. We tired of talking about it. It is April, and by the way, kicking off this month, all month long, we're talking to people who have been on this podcast before. So, Buff, thank you again for coming back on and kicking this off for the month of April. But we talked about it all last month with Will Smith and Chris Rock. But are people still coming to you asking you about this situation that's happening right here, the divorce court episode?
Yes, it just went viral again like a couple of weeks, maybe about a month ago. It goes viral at least 3 times a year, and it's celebrities who keep reposting it.
The deal about it is it becomes new. Like you say, it went viral again. It just refreshes itself. How did that happen? Like, just real quick, I know you explained it 100 times, but for people who don't know and they just saw a clip of it, real quick, what happened? How did this all happen and come together?
Okay, so for the people who don't know, I believe, you know what? I think I saved this actual interview for your show. I was like, if I want somebody to get the raw of what really happened, I want Ken Finesse Media to get it.
Hey, that's dope. That's dope. I appreciate it.
So even with everything, thank you for that wonderful intro. You mentioned wife. I'm going to thank you for that manifestation because...
Well, that's this. I was playing on this.
Yes, but what a lot of people don't know is I've never been married in my life. I've been engaged, not to that man, but I've been engaged. I've never been married. So what happened is TP Lucas and I are comedy buddies. We've done plenty of shows and gigs together. We happen to have the same last name. That's the only reason it works. So a lot of people are like, I knew it. I knew the show was fake. I said, no, it's not the show that was fake. The show is real.
Right.
We're the ones who were fake, not the show. I said the show has no idea. The show thought we were actually married. What happened was he's actually married, happily married, been with his wife, I believe, over 20 years. They were married at the time we did this episode.
Wow.
And what happened was they were originally supposed to go on the show. They had already submitted a story or whatever. So for people who don't know, I only have 3 children. I don't have 4. So because of this show, Google says that I have 4 children. I only have 3.
No.
But so where 4 came in is when him and his wife were originally going to go on the show, they already had a 1-year-old. And when the show got close, when it got close to maybe them going on, his wife, she was a little uncomfortable with going on there with her weight, with her size at the time. So she told him, she was like, man, why don't you call Buff? You all have the same last name. See what she'll say. So thank you to his wife because this was her idea.
That's what's
yeah. So he called me and I said, man, for exposure for both, he was like, exposure for both our careers. I was like, hey, put me in. You don't have to ask me twice. So he was like, we just got to come up with something. So I thought about it. One of the type of women that's always got on my nerves. All of us know somebody. We know that one chick that always says a guy is too nice.
Yeah.
Never knew it was called toxic back then, but in my soul, I knew it wasn't right. I knew it didn't sound right. I knew it was some kind of trauma response, defense mechanism, something, saying he was too nice. So I said, I'm a comedian. I'm an actress. Let me play on the woman that's too nice and, show how stupid she sounds. But in reverse, everybody thinks I'm actually the stupid woman I portrayed.
Yeah, people tearing you up in those comments, but every time it goes viral, that's the only thing I don't like about it. But you get in the comments, you get right in the comments, right back with them. You let them know. You let them know on Facebook that, hey, it's not real, so back off. But no,
all I say, the only thing I say is it's TV. That's all after that, you can assume what you want. All I say is it's TV.
Listen, what you've been doing, Buff, is so many different things. Last time you were on the podcast, of course, we were talking about comedy. In fact, we co-hosted together with Lou Nell. So we had a good time last time you were on, actually.
I miss Lou Nell. She's so sweet.
Lou Nell will be coming up. She'll be coming up on this season before we wrap this thing up. So we'll be bringing her back. But speaking of the backdrop, your favorite twin, your favorite Lucas Twins podcast, you still doing that? So last time I chopped it up with you were doing the podcast. Are y'all still doing that podcast?
Yes, we're still doing it. We just had a nice little pandemic break, I guess.
Yeah.
So we'll be starting back up on season 3 soon, where we talk about our basis is, love and relationship topics. We want to get proper love back in the home and things like that. So we just want to help if we can reach out to one couple. Hey.
No, it's a cool podcast. Y'all gotta have me on there. You can Skype me in. I know y'all have people in the building when y'all record, but bring me in there. I'll definitely come on and talk about whatever subject that y'all in. And you in Chicago too. So if I didn't even mention that, y'all, she's definitely a Chicago win, blowing the Chicago win. So
2 blocks from O Block.
Have me on there. Have me on there. Listen, speaking of being on there, I was on your Facebook and I read something. And last month we celebrate Women's Month. So happy belated International Women's Month. But on Facebook, you made a post and you said, women have muscles too. It's okay. And it doesn't make you masculine. You're just a strong ass queen. Hashtag International Women's Day. So listen, looking at that photo as we just showed it, man, it is undeniably incredible how you just transform. I say not from just being a comic, as we mentioned, a podcast host, an actress, but you also seem that you're gonna step into this bodybuilding game. Shout out to your family, Selena Johnson, who did that. But it seemed like you're trying to just transform on us. So what you doing, man? Because you seem like you lost a whole person from the photo we just shown, and I'm seeing photos already on Facebook and been seeing them. So yeah, you a strong ass woman. Yeah, you masculine, but what's happening, man? You definitely looking good.
Now, I'm definitely not bodybuilding. That takes so much money that I'm not paying for.
Yeah.
It's a lot of discipline that, it's a lot of discipline, but even just that weight loss journey was a lot of discipline. It was funny that you mentioned, Selena, the day, what really made me go hard to lose weight at the rate that I did was, me and my sister were out there in Atlanta with Kiwan and Selena for a week. Mm-hmm. And while I was out there, my doctor called me with some test results. First, I was like, I know she better not be calling and tell me I got nothing. But she did everything. She's like, all of your tests are good, but you're borderline diabetic. I said, what? And I was like, how? I don't eat sweets, like that. I might have my little snacks, and I have my nighttime, my sleepy time medicine. Yeah. But I've never been a sweets person. I didn't even like them as kids, but I wasn't going to second guess her. I wasn't going to try to get a second opinion. I just said, I need to do what I need to do because my health is at risk. My daughters are all adults now, but I have a grandson now who happens to be, and today is April 1st, which is Autism Awareness Month. He happens to be autistic on the spectrum and have SPD. My baby Nadav, but so I was like, I have to be here for him. And had too many family members younger than me dying of natural causes. Mm-hmm. And complications of diabetes. I just had 2 family members die like within 2 months of each other.
Oh man, I'm sorry.
From complications of diabetes. Right, one younger than me, one older. So I lost at least like 65 to 70 pounds while building.
See, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, listen, this
7
girl
months. In
wow.
7 months.
Wow, 7 months. That's
Yep.
transformation. And shout out to Dalila, because both of y'all in the gym.
Yes.
Y'all both killing
Yep.
it. Y'all both
Yes.
killing it. Can y'all do anything separately? I mean, everything has to be together. I mean, damn.
No.
But that's dope.
Well, there are some things we do separately.
Of course, y'all definitely have some kids. Shout out to all y'all kids, because your kids are identical. They're not identical twins, but they still favor each other, and then they really favor y'all though. Like y'all genes are hecka strong, especially Dalia's
You know what? No,
son.
actually,
Her son looks identical to her.
you think so? You gotta
Absolutely.
see that. You gotta see.
And your daughter looks identical to you. Your oldest daughter.
That.
Man, it's
you gotta
crazy.
see her dad.
It is crazy.
Now, this is what's crazy is this is why the kids look alike. You ready for this? So the kids that you named, they don't even look like us. They look like their dads. And the reason they look alike is because their dads are brothers.
Is it for real? Wow.
Yes.
That's super dope. I don't think I knew that. In the many years. Yeah, that's super dope. That's dope that they have that real connection too. So that's family on top of family.
They double first cousins and siblings genetically because we're identical twins. They just got a lot going on.
And see, you're the twin that is super funny. And I love that about you. And that's how we met. And that's how I'm continuing to be excited about it. So, I can't get you up out of here without even talking about that. So being a comedian, you have got back on the stage. Buff, I'm so excited. Tell me about it. Like, I'm seeing flyers you're posting, you're back on stage. How does that feel? What made you get back into it? What made you grab the mic and keep making the people laugh?
It feels great. I had to pray on it. I hadn't been on stage since.
How long has it been?
I hadn't been on stage since before. I hadn't been on stage the entire pandemic.
For sure.
I was already getting back on and getting back into it right before everything happened. And then I would be like, okay, I think I'm ready to get back on stage. And right when I do, it's like 1,000 comedians have COVID. Then I just lost a comedy buddy to COVID. Shout out to Uptown. He passed away from COVID, I believe it was last month or the end of February. So it was like, man, every time I want to go back. But then, and then I got an opportunity to an audition for a reality show. Sweet. For comedians in Chicago. So right now I'm currently filming season 2 of that. I did season 1, and then I got an email, and I guess I made season 2. So
that's cool. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. So I'm currently doing that. So with that, the other gigs started coming too. So it felt the adrenaline rush, bananas. It felt really good to be back on stage and making people laugh and smile.
Man, I was especially
not gonna, with all this shit going on.
And that's it. People need the funny. People need the funny, and people need your type of comedy too. It's super. If you've never seen Buff, we'll have a clip for you. So, Buff, listen, people are entertained by your authentic comedy. It's super. Which is comedy, which is raw, authentic conversation with no condom, straight, no chaser. That's really what that is. That's really what that's what that is. I'm so glad that you're back on stage. Anything that's coming up that's going to have you on stage soon?
I have a show coming up soon. I don't remember the exact venue and date or location, but I can definitely get that to you as soon as I look again.
Yeah.
But mostly just filming right now. Mm-hmm. So I haven't booked a lot of things just so it's not really like a bad conflict. Mm-hmm. Or if I do, then they'll come out and film. But right now I believe it'll be either on Roku or Apple TV. Not really sure, but I'll keep you updated.
I'm happy for Chicago comics because I really do feel like we have the best comics. Like Bernie Mac, Damon Williams. Shout out to Damon Williams. Shout out to Sherry Shepherd, who's a Chicago native, and having her own show. What did you think about that? Because as a comic, as a female comic, and again someone from Chicago, kind of what was your thoughts about that with Sherry having her new show?
I think it's dope. I mean, I commend anybody who has a new show, especially somebody like Sherry Shepherd, who's been around for a very long time. I remember being younger and watching her on TV and, things like that. So I think it's pretty dope. My thing is, even if let's say, if it doesn't work, it doesn't matter. She can say she did it.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. Another
like
thing.
you said, I root for anybody from Chicago too. And she a woman and a comic.
Yeah.
I hope it works out really well.
Yeah, I see people like Miss Sherelle who is still doing some things.
Oh yeah, that's
in
my
LA.
sister. Right
yeah, I think you introduced me to her, not literally, but just through the social. I don't even really remember if it was social media that way, but and somehow I know for sure. You were on a lot of the lineups and the bids with her.
Yeah, we were running
during that
together.
time.
Went out to LA, us and Blair. Yeah.
Yeah,
so.
and is it Niche? What's her name?
Just Niche. Oh yeah, Just Niche and Corey Bell are doing their things. Yeah. Mary Lee, Lisa Layer, Erica Clark, which is Mr. T's daughter. I mean, all of them are doing their thing right now.
Yeah.
And Brandy Denise, can't forget her. She played on Power, and now I believe Euphoria. So I am so proud. Brandy is doing. It's a lot of them. It's funny because you mentioned that. I'm gonna post them too. I just found old posts, pictures with like just Niche, Brandy Denise, Miss Sherelle, myself. I can't remember who else. And in the post, it's from Instagram. I said, make sure you remember these names. Don't say I didn't tell you.
Yeah.
And it's like from about 8 years ago or something.
You got to share that with me.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to share it.
For sure. These talents from Chicago, talented comedians, again, from out of Chicago, I truly love and respect. What's your Mount Rushmore of comments, if you would say, for females?
Females?
Who's on your Mount Rushmore for female comics?
For females, I'm going to have to go with, of course, some more.
Yeah. She on the list status for sure.
I like Monique.
Okay.
Ellen DeGeneres.
Oh, okay. Ellen.
Yeah, I like Ellen. I don't know if you ever watched her stand up, but she's funny.
Yeah, early on stand ups for her. Yeah, because quickly transitioned to some acting and whatnot. Yep. But yeah, early on, she's raw too.
Yes.
Yeah.
And who else was I gonna? It was somebody else I was gonna say. Of course, Lunel. I love Lunel. Hope Flood. A lot of the ones, from back then, definitely, looked up to them. Hope Flood, Lunel, Kim Whitley, and Kim Cole. All of them.
What about males?
Adele, Chicago's own.
Yeah, another Chicagoan.
I actually get compared to her a lot.
Yeah, she's such a fucking lady.
Such a fucking right. People are like, you remind me of her. Yeah. You guys are just no filter.
Who's on the male Mount Rushmore? Rushmore.
A lot. B. Cole, Dion Cole.
Yeah.
Big brother Damon Williams. Oh my goodness, who has the back of my head hurting? Tony Roberts.
Tony Roberts, yes. Underrated, I feel.
Lil Rel used to have the back of my head hurting. Grady. There's so many of them from Chicago. Baldhead, love Marlon Mitchell. I wish Marlon Mitchell.
Shout out to Francis.
I wish he would have blew the way he could, because he is. Yeah. And then he just has a beautiful spirit too, like outside of and off the stage. So, but males, Bernie Mac. It's a lot of them. Tony Woods. I've always loved Tony Woods, and then when I met him, even doper.
Yeah, Tony's a lot of energy. He's a lot of energy on stage.
It's like energy and laid back at the same time. It's hard to explain.
Yeah, being a comic is not easy, because you got to keep coming up with material. Each and every time. Do you find it difficult now being a comic and now seeing more of the TikTok, because that's getting kind of, it's not really even comedy. I guess it's more so sketch comedy in a sense.
That's
Yeah.
exactly what it is.
You've done some of that too, actually. And I
Yeah,
like
Go drink water and mind my business. Mind my business. Drink water and mind my business. Mind my business. I go drink water and mind my business. Mind my business. Drink water and mind my business. Me and them can't be friends. I fight the battle and
like it.
It's like you got to keep up with what's going on.
Yeah.
You know, that would be like a singer still trying to sell CDs and everything's digital. Like, it makes absolutely no sense. So the only thing I didn't like was that they were calling them comedians.
Yeah.
And it's almost like it takes away from those of us who actually studied the art and the books and the theory of it and how to actually write, to how you, the whole science, or, you know, of how to set up a joke, you know, all of that. It's like, you're not a comedian, you're just fucking funny on social media.
Yeah, this sketch. And a lot of times it's not them or their voices, I guess, that they're using. It's the voiceover. You know?
Yeah, for the like the sound that you say. Yeah.
The sound is, it's not even them. But Shirlene is one of my favorites, man. Shirlene, I think that girl.
Is that the church lady with the white
shoes? Man, she is freaking hilarious to me. She is. I think one of the funniest people on the internet.
That is funny.
Just hands down, because it's a message in it. It's almost like putting the medicine in the candy when I'm listening to what she's saying, because that's what really makes a comic too, because a comic can also make you think, you know, outside the box and really just place their thoughts on real life situations, and you like, right, I'm thinking the same thing. So it's that familiarity. Wow, that was hard to get out, but I mean,
that's comics, one of the words.
Yeah, definitely. You can't say too many times in a row. But comics, you got it rough. You got it rough. So what's coming up? So your own focus to do on this reality show, and that's taping in Chicago.
Yes. Yep, it's with One of Them Entertainment. So definitely be looking out for that. I'm really excited about it, looking forward to it.
Yeah.
I have some great castmates. I get along with everybody. So I'm the only Black woman.
And that's what I say on every episode of the Finesse Media Podcast, but that who's for you that's finessing the game, because you're definitely somebody that's finessing the game. So you gave me your Mount Rushmore for the men and women for comics. This cannot be, or does not have to be a comic, but who's that person for you that you say that's finessing the game?
Finessing the game right now, finessing the game. I'm gonna have to. Can I do 3 people?
You can do it. You can do it. This your episode.
I'm gonna have to go with these 3, and there's no specific order. And they are putting Chicago on the map like it's nobody's business.
I love it already.
G Herbo, Lil Durk, and Polo G are finessing the hell out of the game with drill music right now. We never thought drill music would make it like this. My brother was a drill music artist, and I never forget. I hate now that I sound like a dream still and didn't know that's what that was at the time. I was proud. I always tell him I was proud of him, but I was like, that music is not gonna make mainstream. The shit y'all talking, y'all out here telling the shit y'all, it's not. I'm like, the shit y'all talking about as Chicago artists, y'all live it. It's too hardcore for the radios and stuff. Look at it now. It's taken over rap. The Dirty South had their time.
Yeah, I haven't heard
it. It's drill music time now.
It is.
Now it's drill artists from different places, Memphis, and you know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't hear it here in Texas at all. Then plus I don't listen to the radio, but in Chicago, it's definitely present. When I was last home, listen to the radio. You hear it. You hear it. And G Herbo, man, that's a good dude. I think not only as his talent that people love, but his personality. I think he connect with people in such a way, like he's real humble dude. We see him on the Shade Room, of course. They love him. They often posting them, a
He's
lot.
hilarious.
He's a good dude. He's and authentically funny, and which is what I said earlier about Chicago folks. Like we're not just naturally funny. So
yeah, because that's what we do. We what we signify is what we will signify you for. Oh my goodness! And then he's so young, and the things he's doing, like he bought a school, make sure 150 kids get therapy for PTSD. I'm like, I love it. At 20 something years old, that's so dope.
Yeah, putting other people before you, and also just using what you are being able to receive and giving it back to others and people that's in your hometown. That's what we always want, right? For people to give it right back to their community, to their city. And a lot of people do it
down the block, but just come in and out, and I don't want any of them to be harmed. I'm glad they got all of them out of Chicago so that they could get to where they are right now. And Lil Bibby too, he's in there too. They just won't let him drop any music.
Yeah,
love Lil Bibby.
Chicago.
And you better be glad I ain't that young, because I'd snatch that little boy up. Okay.
Chicago is on the rise with music for sure. I remember growing up, it wasn't music, it was basketball. We hollered, we ran outside during the championship playoff games, and of course when we won the final. So that's what it was. The park stayed packed with basketball players and inspires, people who inspired to be basketball players professionally. And then now it's music and with dancing. I miss that too, though. I do miss the dancing in Chicago, that footwork and part right there. That's got to come back. And if we can somehow make the drill music do some of that and with it, that's right. Got to be.
Hey, Iman Shumpert, he shouted us out when he won Dancing with the Stars.
Yeah.
When he had I cannot think of his name right now, but he's a star dancer, local celebrity here in Chicago, but I don't even think he's just a local celebrity. Let me not say that. But he's doing his shit as far as dancing.
Yes, the person
but he flew him in for the footwork and for the Chicago part.
Okay. You're talking about somebody who was flown in, not the actual, because the person who was doing it, he's a celebrity. What was his name?
Yeah, he is now. I cannot remember his name, but he's from Chicago too. He's very, really known for footwork.
Yeah, they snap. They snap with that one because
Chicago is on the rise. Then you got Selena and Kanye West nominated for Donda.
Yeah, that's really good. It's really good. Shout out to Kanye West and Selena doing it. It was really spooky though. I was listening to it. I'm like, wait, what's happening with this? What's happening with this Donda message? It was really creepy. But Buff, before you get up out of here, man, let people know how they can keep up with you. You got so many things going on with the podcast, also being back on stage again, which I really love. So I want to be tagged in any and all of the events and places that you're going to be in, so I can just share it as well. And then, but yeah, let people know how they can keep up with you and get some of all this funny and stay up with your talent.
Alrighty, so I can be followed on almost all social media. I only give you several. Facebook is Rashida, Rashida J Lucas. Instagram, I have a new page. My page got hacked and I lost it, so the new one is I am Rashida Lucas 5.
That's what that was. I was like, wait, I'm not following her.
I lost the entire page.
Yeah,
I was sick, and like I said, and look for One of Them Entertainment, Chicago Comedians reality show. It'll be either on Roku TV or Apple TV coming soon. And and Your Favorite Lucas Twins on YouTube. Please subscribe and follow our YouTube channel. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, like I said, Your Favorite Lucas Twins. And follow us and make sure you join the podcast.
That's what's up. If you got to come back, and co-host. You've already filled that seat, and you'll also fill the seat as being a guest. So you are family, of course, to the podcast. So you got to come back and host and have some fun. Have some fun with me.
Oh, definitely. I'll come back. Just let me know.
That's what's up. Well, Buff, thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your night. And you've been listening and watching another episode of the Finesse Media Podcast Season 4. I'm your host, Ken Finesse Media, and I'll see you next week with something brand new. Peace.
Thank you for having me.
Yep, I know you tired of the chunky face and chunky body. Let me tell you how to get that off. 80% of weight loss is how you eat. If your cart don't look like this, I don't know what to tell you. And yep, we eat meat. Stop letting people tell you to take meat out your diet to lose weight. You don't need to do that. Yep, we eat butter, good fats. Gonna get them veggies for those smoothies. I don't eat them, but you might. Cashews for snacks. Gotta get that protein. Ooh, don't throw those eggs. Yes, baby. Protein. Y'all, no, not that. We're gonna get that virgin oils. Yes. You wanna get it? Let me show you. Jasmine rice. Yep. Yo, you better look like this. 80%. But 20% is working out. That's it. But if you want to go from this to this, I can help you. Peace.
This has been another edition of the Finesse Media Podcast. Join us again next week for the latest news from HBCUs. Special guest